How's it going, guys? This is ZDEyE here. So yesterday I have reported about that The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered, or back then it was, well, we were referring to as also as Director's Cut, will be coming as natively for the PlayStation 5. Now, it seems like, well, it was suddenly confirmed. Now, we are not certain if this confirmation came, well, as intended, because I feel like all of this information was supposed to come during the Game Awards. But instead, because the leak, well, Naughty Dog, PlayStation decided to just simply reveal it all. Except one particular interesting thing, they actually have not mentioned regarding of the, full price tag. Let's say that you do not have the game at all, right? And you want to buy it brand new specifically for the PlayStation 5. So I assume, how much would that cost? In my opinion, I think it'll cost about $50. But, well, there's an article regarding it as well, everything about it. But I want to get into it, and afterwards I'll share my thoughts regarding the biggest question, and of course the most obvious question: do we actually need this remaster? So there's a PlayStation blog regarding it, all the details are in there, and all the new features that will also include. So The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered coming to PS5 on January the 19th of 2024. I first want to mention that this artwork is actually quite nice. It's very reminiscent towards The Last of Us Part 1 as well, so I really like it. So let's continue. The team here at Naughty Dog is excited to announce The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered, the definitive way to experience the acclaimed The Last of Us sequel originally released in 2020. We're thrilled to confirm you won't have to wait long for it either. Players can jump into Ellie and Abby's emotional journeys on PlayStation 5 console on January 19th of 2024. Whether you already played and even platinumed The Last of Us Part 2 on the PS4 console, or have recently jumped into The Last of Us Part 1 on a PS5 and want to continue the journey, Part 2 Remastered will offer plenty of reasons for new and returning players to revisit a story that means so much to our studio. The engrossing campaign returns alongside the technological improvements, new modes, new behind-the-scenes features that will deepen your understanding of Part 2's creation. But before we break down what's in the store, take a look at our announcement trailer below. So, as you can see already from the background, here it is. Basically, it's more of the same, but of course it features a little bit extra, and I will get into that. The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered is designed to let you dig deeper into both its development and mechanics. Chief among there is a brand new mode called No Return, a roguelike survival mode designed to let players prove their mantle in the randomized encounters and experience The Last of Us Part 2's combat in fresh experience. The mode includes a host of playable characters to choose from, some playable for the first time in the Last of Us franchise, which you may have already spotted in our trailer, who each come with their own traits to suit different playstyles. Players will chart their own course on each run, choosing between various stealth and combat encounters that will pit you against a range of enemies, with unique twists that can add new, unexpected factors to any given encounter. Each run will offer a new chance to decide what reward you get after each encounter, how you spec out of your character, and more. Unlock more characters, skins, and more as you progress to use in this mode. Customize your own runs, and compete on a global leaderboard as a part of the daily run. We're excited to share more about No Return as we get closer to launch. For those who have already played The Last of Us Part 2, we know the included sections featuring a playable guitar were a favorite for many. Burgeoning rock stars impressed us with your performances. So we introduced a new guitar-free play mode, which will let you strum the strings across a host of unclockable instruments. Use audio effects, pedals to modulate your performance, and play as a different character in several in-game locations to customize the mood and feel for your set. And for both new and returning players interested in learning more, we're designed Part 2 Remastered to offer a comprehensive dive behind the scenes of how our studio brought this game to life. A new set of lost levels in Part 2 Remastered allow players a unique chance to check out some playable sequences previously cut from the game. There aren't fully finished levels, but rather early development slices that not only let you see some new glimpses of Part 2's world, but also include embedded developer commentary to give them a richer context. Explore these spaces and hear directly from the team about the intention of the aspect of each level. This is a unique inclusion for our studio that we're excited to allow players and glimpse into the creative process. We're also included newly recorded director's commentary across the campaign's cutscenes from director Neil Druckmann, narrative lead Haley Cross, and actor Troy Baker, Ashley Johnson, and Laura Bailey. They assembled to offer insight into the story and its characters that means so much to both our team and our fans, and we're delighted to give fans even more understanding of the team's approach to the story. The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered will feature enhanced graphics, include native 4K output in Fidelity mode, 1440p upscaled to 4K in Performance mode, and unlock frame rate option for TVs that support VRR, increased texture resolution, increased level of detail distances, improved shadow quality, animation sample rate, and more. It all brings the world of Part 2's story to life in richer and smoother detail, from the snow-swept mountains of Jackson, Wyoming to the rainy cityscape of Seattle, Washington, and should make a first visit or return trip to the complex journeys of Ellie and Abby all the more engrossing. Part 2 Remastered takes advantage of the PS5's power and features in more ways as well, including improved loading times. Part 2 Remastered also incorporates DualSense wireless controller, haptic feedback, and adaptive triggers integration to better immerse you in every moment of combat and exploration. We've ensured Part 2's award-winning suite of accessibility options return for the PlayStation 5 experience, alongside new additions like the inclusion of descriptive audio and speech-to vibrations, which use the DualSense controller to indicate character speech and cadence. The unlockable speedrun modes include The Last of Us Part 1 will also be coming to Part 2 Remastered, allowing players to post their best times. Following The Last of Us Part 1, The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered includes the ability to unlock bonus skins for Ellie, Abby, and their weapons that we're excited for players to see and take some incredible photo modes shots with it. You can get first look at some of our announcement trailer, and speaking about photo mode, we made some additions that players of The Last of Us Part 1 may be familiar with, including dynamic lighting, frame forward, and gaze direction, as well as a new frame and logo options. We're so excited to natively bring The Last of Us Part 2 to the PlayStation 5 as the definitive way to experience the sequel and everything it has to offer, while also offering fans new and returning deeper levels of appreciation for the work that went into it. Pre-orders will be available beginning December the 5th, both for the Standard Edition as well as The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered WLF Edition, which will be exclusively available direct from the PlayStation in select markets, such as United States, United Kingdom, Germany, France, Benelux, Italy, Spain, Portugal, and Australia. It includes a steelbook display case, 4 enamel pens, a Washington Liberation Front patch, and a total of 47 Society of Champions trading cards, including 8 holographic cards. These were a favorite of Part 2 players to collect in-game, and we're so happy we could bring these to life. And good news for the existing owners of The Last of Us Part 2 on the PlayStation 4, you will be able to upgrade to a digital version of The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered for $10 USD at launch. You'll also be able to import your saves from the original game to the Part 2 Remastered. So that's pretty much it. Now they have included some additional photos of screenshots of the PlayStation 5 version of The Last of Us Part 2, but it's not really necessary to show them since they're also in the trailer. Now, other than that, so what do you think? I personally think it's nice, right? It definitely is a nice feature. I'm still kind of curious to see and to say that, was this really needed? In my opinion, Like, I was just waiting for it to happen. You know, I was just wondering, why did this not actually happen earlier? And now at this point it makes total sense, since of course with well, basically putting their multiplayer factions 2 on ice, so Naughty Dog doesn't really have much going on for them. Waiting now for so long until they actually can be coming out with their new game, or perhaps The Last of Us Part 3, well, I mean, it kind of makes sense why they want to release something that they, at least to feed the players of Naughty Dog games. Personally, for me, I am definitely going to be picking this up, since it's only an additional $10, it's no problem at all. I still was wondering if they will be naming this The Last of Us, you know, Part 2 Director's Cut, but it seems like they're not going to do that. Instead, they're going to be going with a similar route that they have already done from The Last of Us, you know, Remastered, and now they're going with The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered. Man, there's so many confusions related to that as well. See, because The Last of Us came out in 2012, I believe it was, and then The Last of Us Remastered was like 2013, 2014, and then we're getting The Last of Us Part 2 in 2020, and then The Last of Us Part 1 remake, basically. I think it was like in 2022 or 2021, man, it's been a while. And as such, you know, now we're getting a remaster of The Last of Us Part 2. It's funny how that's where it actually works. So yeah, only just an additional $10, I think it personally is definitely going to be worth it. Now, regarding of the edition as well, the WLF edition, I personally think it's actually going to cost $70, just like a brand new game, but additions, you know, towards like extra tidbits that it got as well, and I personally think it's, well, it's kind of shit. Now, I'll be honest, I don't really like it. Much prefer to have actually a collector's edition, and instead, well, we're getting some patches and some additions, like little things like this. Nah, man, not for me. So yeah, well, finally we're getting it. It's been a while since the Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut and also Death Stranding's Director's Cut. We were all pretty much wondering when will The Last of Us Part 2 will get the similar treatment, and it did. Thank you so much for watching, like and subscribe. See you guys all, and have a wonderful day.